Hello everyone, this is Canadian Titan here, and I'm back with some more Card Creator, version 2.5.5. I had someone on Steam ask me to go ahead and kind of give a walkthrough of how to create a card from start to finish, including some text, icons, images, and all the way kind of to what the end print result would look like. I'm not going to actually print anything out, but I am going to kind of go through the entire process of creating a card. So let's go ahead and do new. First thing, we're going to create a new blueprint, a new collection. You can see here we have the option to create a new blueprint. Let's go ahead and do that. And it brings us into the blueprint builder. So you can see here we have two areas, sample text. So this is a text box, and here we have an image box. We're going to want to subdivide this a little bit more because we're also going to want some other details on our card. So the cards I'm going to make today are really just kind of for fun. They're not part of any real game. If you want to make your own game, feel free to do so. I recommend planning before going ahead and making cards. I have a Google Doc open with some details on it. So we're gonna have the name of the card up here. We're gonna have an image. We're gonna have some text. We need to do like a subdivide. And you can see here we have this little like cutting tool. So we're gonna subdivide this down here. We're gonna subdivide again. And you can see each of these is being set as images right now. We're gonna change that later. We're gonna divide this in kind of a rough half. And I think that's all the areas we really need right now. I'm going to change the margins a little bit. Let's do that. And change the spacing. A little tighter. I like that. I think that looks good. I wish it would measure so you'd know exactly that you had a 50/50. You can use the grid mode and try to like figure out a grid that works. Yeah, that looks alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a bit. I think what we need to do here is, well, we can do like a 60-40 split, which is not really ideal. I really need something in between that. Let's turn that grid back on. Oh, a little bit more. Oh, come on. That looks pretty good. All right. So let's go ahead and change these. So you have to kind of find a spot where you get the finger. That way you can go ahead and click it, and we can change that to text. We're going to do the same over here. To text. We're going to change this as well to text. We're going to keep this as text, but we're going to start changing some things. So let's change the font. I think that font size looks okay. Let's actually make it like a true black. I like that. This sample text here is not going to be Lato either. It's going to be a little bit smaller. We're going to squash it down. We're not going to have much description text. The image is really kind of the important part, as well as these stats here. Let's go into the first stat. We're going to left align it. It's not going to be Lato, because I don't really like the Lato font, even though it's their default. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. Nimbus 16. We're going to do right aligned. Let's change the background color for now. You see that they use an image for the background. We're going to do that. And we'll keep the border as is. So if we go ahead and click this check mark over here, you'll see that we've created a blueprint for a card, and we can actually create our first card. So let's go ahead and do that. This will be the Black Knight. We'll throw in an image. There we go. Look at that. Oh, do you recognize what that is? Anyone who's played Fortnite before recognizes that. A description of the Black Knight. Let's see here. Trying to see if I can quickly find skins. I'm on the Fortnite.gamepedia.com, the Fortnite wiki, and I'm just going to go see really quickly if there is a description for the Black Knight. Come on. Black. Really? A, B, C, D. Is he not called the Black Knight? I'm sure it is. There we go. Okay, it is the Black Knight. And we have a description, so I'm just going to copy that and paste that in. And it's looking kind of weird, so we're going to go back into the thing here. Center, Nimbus, line spacing. We'll make that text black as well. And check mark. And that should update and fix. I don't know. because I copied it in. There we go. Yep. Okay. And over here, actually, let's go back into this and let's divide this. We're gonna have icons in here. So this one is gonna be an icon, and it's gonna be for uniqueness. What can we use for uniqueness? I don't know. Let's try that. And over here, we're gonna do the same thing. Icon, and this one's gonna be for sweaty. Is there a drop? Sure there is. Let's use this one. I'll make it blue. All right. So Black Knight uniqueness is gonna be 10, and over here sweaty is gonna be 60. Oops. I forgot. This is the default text, so we just want to remove that. There we go. Okay. Because we're going to change to Black Knight. Did I just do that the wrong way around? No, I didn't. Okay. So we have our first card. We have the Black Knight with the image of the Black Knight with some text. And over here we have uniqueness score, and over here we have sweaty score. And now we can add in as many of these cards as we want. So let's go ahead and add in another one. Canadian, Alpine, grab an image. This is the skin that I typically played. Good looking skin. I'm gonna go back to the wiki real quick. We're gonna grab the text from that just because it's easy. And then we're gonna give him the uniqueness score and the sweaty score. Right, so let's say I was building rules around these cards. These numbers and these terms would mean something. Right now they don't, right? So that's kind of the like main card set. Let's call these character cards, right? And so let's say each player is gonna pick a character card, and this is how they're gonna base their gameplay, right? So let's do another section, and we're gonna build it off of this blueprint, but we're gonna duplicate it and not link it. So any changes we make to this new one or the old one won't be replicated. So these cards are going to be back bling. I don't know why this happens. That's fine. We're just gonna get rid of one of them. Delete that. Okay. So for back bling, we have the name of it, which is fine. We'll keep that. And we have the uniqueness and sweaty, and we have the image, and we have some text. So this exact same blueprint will work perfectly. What we're going to do for back bling though is we're actually going to change this background color. Just to kind of that light gray, just to differentiate the cards. And so up here we're going to do, I think they're stone wings. Give me 1 second. Blade wings, dark wings, love wings. Okay, they're called love wings. Isn't that nice? We have the love wings. We're gonna grab the image. The text. The uniqueness score. And the sweaty score. Right? And so again, with this one, let's say we're gonna have like 4 of those, and we can do a whole bunch of cards and build out a deck of kind of these, let's call them like, you know, back bling. Right? And so, and we can keep doing this. We can create another one called weapons, let's say. So let's do another one. We're gonna base it off of the default. We're gonna duplicate. It's gonna be called weapons. Again, we'll probably create 2, which I don't know why. Hopefully the developers can fix that in the future. Weapons are a little different than the other ones. They're gonna have a name, they're gonna have an image. They're not gonna have sample text. So we're just gonna, come on, oh, mistakes were made. Control Z to undo. We're gonna delete that by right clicking it. This changed to text, we're gonna change it back to an image. We're gonna have damage and range, so let's change these icons. Let's see, for damage, let's use this for fun, and we'll make it red. And for range, we'll use that. We'll make it black. Sure. That's going to be damage and range, the name of the weapon, and a picture of the weapon. And we're going to change the background again. This time what we're going to do is we're actually going to subdivide the background. And this is where I wish they had onion skinning for the layers. Because what I want to do is I want to change it so that the background color is only different around the item image. Alright, so let's move this down just a little bit. Let's move this down just a little bit. Move it back up a little bit. See, this is where onion layers would be really nice. A little bit more. I think that might do. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Okay, so we have our first weapon. It's going to be the heavy assault rifle. We're going to grab an image of the heavy assault rifle. Boom. For damage, it's going to do 488. And for range, it's going to do 15. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to grab the background here and make it kind of that, like, I don't know, like a golden yellow color. Maybe a little bit brighter than that. Right. And so what we have here is a golden assault rifle. And again, we can have like 6 of those or whatever. So here we have 3 different sets of cards, and we can continue, like I said, building out an entire deck of the different types of cards. And then when we're done, I'm just going to quickly save. When we're done, we can actually export those. I'm not going to go into variables, but let's see here. So if we go to this, we can say export set, and we can do that for each one. Right now, the back of each of these cards is really boring, right? So if I go to back, you'll see it's just like stripes, not very interesting. But as you can see, the fronts of the cards have like the name of the thing and the different abilities. So let's say we want to go ahead and duplicate this card. We're actually going to change the background color of this one, maybe kind of more of a purpley color, right? So we're going to have the purpley one. The damage of this one's going to do a little bit less. Let's say 486. And we'll keep the range the same. Right, and so now we have different cards that if we go to export set, you can see we have the gold ones and we have the purple ones. You can see here you can export them as images, as a PDF, and as tabletop simulator. That is super cool. The tabletop simulator I've tried before, and that allows you to import it into a Steam game called Tabletop Simulator that imports all these cards. And while it doesn't handle the rule management, it does allow you to kind of play your games digitally with other people, so that's kind of fun. You can change the spacing on your cards if you need to, right? So depending on who you're sending this file to, certain PDF providers will want them in certain ways. You can change the paper size, which is really nice, the DPI, image height, image format, whether you want it portrait or landscape. It really depends on your needs, right, of how you want this printed out. If you have like a double-sided printer, I don't know that this supports double-sided printing yet. It really seems to do like backs and fronts on different pages. And so it'll do like front, front, back, back, which you would really want front, back if you're doing double-sided. So that's kind of a thing that it doesn't handle very easily. But ideally what you would do to kind of build up some thickness in your cards is you would print out the fronts and backs on different pages and then like glue them together or whatever, put them in like card sleeves. To change the back of a card, let's go ahead and go over here. You can see here we have this option here to flip card, but we're going to do that in here, edit back. And so right now the back is just an image, so we can change that to like a solid color if we want. We can add in additional layers, so let's add another layer and call this like, I don't know, icon, or let's say logo, let's call it logo, right? And this layer logo is actually going to be an image, and the image I'm going to grab is just that Fortnite kind of star, and we're going to do fit, no, not fit height, fit width. Right, that looks pretty cool. And save. And so now on the backs of these cards, just like that. And you'd have to do that for each one of these, right? Because these blueprints are not duplicated. They're completely independent. So right now on the back of this one, if we go to the back, right, you can see that it doesn't have that same thing. We'd have to do that same thing again. So very quickly, let's just make it black. Another layer, image, grab the image we want, fit width, and done. And then last but not least, let's do it to this one as well. You can see sometimes the, you know, the titles and things like that, like in the corner here, kind of glitch out a little bit. Don't worry about that, it's not important. You can see here that I don't always name layers. That's not that important either. Boom. All right, so now we have all of our cards with that nice background. So if we were to go ahead and export set, you can see on the fronts we have that, on the backs we have that. Looks pretty cool. Let's go ahead and save that. And we'll call that weapons. And you can make as many of these as you want, right? And sometimes what you'll find is that you don't need different blueprints slash collections for each card type, right? So the back blings, like I changed them a little bit. I'm gonna lighten up that gray because it's really bothering me. I know it's weird. But yeah, you don't necessarily need to. Ooh, I made it worse. Let's go ahead and a little bit of transparency. Let's call that good. How's that look? Yeah, doesn't look that great. I'm not a graphic designer. This is not my forte. Yeah, you can see how this plays out, right? Now you have these cards here, which you'll know are like back blings. You know, your character can only have one back bling, and you can have different back blings for your different characters, which would be kind of fun, right? And it would provide different stats, and then depending on your rules, those stats will matter in different ways. And then the same thing with weapons, right? Maybe like in Fortnite, you can only have a certain number of slots for weapons, and weapons have attack and range, and you have to determine how you're going to use those abilities, right? Let's say your character start with 100 health, and yeah, so like you have to build out your game system before building out your cards. I'd highly recommend that. Just for fun, let's add in one more type of card. Yeah, so let's add in. Oh, and I just accidentally did that. That's great. Okay, so this button here is set right now to output all of these collections, right? And you can see here that we can see them all, and we can do the backs. And that's nice for just a single print file. Very nice. Yeah, let's add one more type. We're going to base it off the default. We're going to duplicate it again because I don't like linking blueprints because I find it not scary, but just time consuming. I don't understand the linking of blueprints, because if you change one blueprint, you change both blueprints. So why not just use that exact same blueprint for both card types? Maybe you want to break up your collections, I don't know. So this one will be accessories. And again, it added 2 of them. I'm not sure why, but that's okay. We can just delete one of them. And accessories are going to have text, which is going to be the name of it. It's going to have an image, and then it's going to have some sample text, which is going to be kind of the rule of that card. Let's go ahead and right-click these, merge them all together, merge them with... Oops. No, I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Go away. I got angry because I tried to merge 2 columns into 1 column. Just give me 1 second here. No, stop! Please. Oh. You know what we do? Undo, undo, undo. There we go. Boom. Okay. So this is going to be a text box. It's going to describe what the accessory card does. And again, I don't want it to be in Lato. I want it to be in Nimbus. And let's say 16. Yeah, good. Okay. Perfect. This is the accessory card. The first accessory we're going to make is going to be a campfire. And we're going to grab an image of the campfire. And we're going to go ahead and fit width. And I'm sorry about the quality of the image. It's not really all that important though, is it? And this is going to give plus 50 health. And in our deck that we're building, we're going to have 6 of those. And because I duplicated this from another blueprint, you can see on the back it already has the logo and the coloring that we wanted. That's kind of nice. And so now we have a deck that has characters, it has back blings, it's got weapons, and it's got accessories. And you can imagine, right, having like, 50 pages of cards that you need to print out and cut out and so on. I use Staples to get them to print them and cut them because they have the big like slicing machine to cut things out. I highly recommend you do that. And yeah, hopefully this helps. If you're using Card Creator, it's a super powerful tool. You just really have to have some decent imagination, some okay graphic design skills, and a lot of time. And you can do a lot with this program. I highly recommend it. Check it out. That's Card Creator. It's currently on version... Oh, let's go ahead. It's currently on version 2.5.5. I'm hoping that they'll continue to kind of move this forward. They've slowed down their development a little bit, but it is getting much, much more stable than it used to be. And yeah, I can't wait to see what happens with upcoming versions.